Okay, my peeps, this video is about the facts, the latest research and studies on the keto diet from many of the doctors these days who are now getting the government funding and grants to go ahead with studies and research, and are now finally able to get out some amazing, awesome information pertaining to the keto way of eating, way of living. So I have about 170 pages of notes, but don't worry, I'm not going to give them all to you in this video. I'm just giving little clips. Because there's so much typing to do, I decided, you know what, I'm just going to put out a video and go from there. I do apologize, as I may be a little bit, what should we say? The video may not flow so fluently as I am reading from my notes, even though I take great notes. Let's just get to it, okay? So our first doctor, Dr. Kris Smith, neurosurgeon in Phoenix, Arizona. So he's been studying on the keto diet. His main focus has been with epilepsy and brain tumors, and he finds the keto diet impacts greatly the processing of our brain in the treatment of cancer and cancer of the brain. He did mention that there's very little strides, but there is some research and studies that's now being done, and this research and study will continue. So he mentioned that with brain cancer, that individuals are suffering more from the therapy over the surgery, which is pretty sad. Therapy being radiation, aggressive chemo, toxic treatment. He mentioned that many of them are surviving but barely living. That was his words. Okay, so the keto diet, in his words, is an anti-inflammatory diet. It helps starve the cancer, because that's his area of focus and study. It helps starve the cancer, which is pretty awesome. Cancer cells are not adapted to use ketones. Now, in further videos, I will go into great detail in terms of ketones, but for now, I'm just focusing on what Dr. Kris Smith has to say. Our brain does better on ketones than it does glucose. And for anyone that is studying ketones, they already know this information, but if you're new, this may be new information for you. Chronic epilepsy. So he uses the keto diet for those with chronic epilepsy, treatment of seizures that they actually decrease with the diet. He uses the keto diet with obese patients, young women, so pressure, there's a lot of pressure. Yeah, so his focus is on young women with using the keto diet. I don't know why his focus on young women. Maybe more women come to him with brain cancer? I don't know. Okay, pressure on the heart. There's a lot of pressure on the heart. Pressure in their veins. Like, we fully don't realize sometimes in terms of when we're overweight just how much stress we're putting on the insides of our body. We see the outside, outward appearance, but do we fully realize what pressure we're putting on our hearts and our veins? Weight, yeah, there's weight on their heart, right? Pressure in their spinal fluid that has gotten absorbed by the veins and is even more elevated. So the pressure then on the veins is more elevated as there is pressure on the spinal fluid. They get headaches. He mentioned his patients, some of them even go blind. The keto diet, with the keto diet, they gradually lose weight in a healthy way. There is a decrease in headaches. They get their vision back. How awesome is that? Did you ever hear of people even with diabetes where they go blind from diabetes? From the research I have been listening to and taking notes, they can even reverse the blindness from diabetes. That's pretty awesome. All right, so, and they get to take out, oh yeah, so the shunts that was put in their veins, you know, for their heart, those that take stroke, heart attacks, what have you, that they have been able to take out the shunts that was used to treat their pseudo tumor. And the keto diet he uses with patients with brain tumors. So when people mention about prescribing a diet for therapy, it's overstated in counting every calorie, grams of carbs, measure everything, making it very unappealing. So that's why he uses the keto diet. He finds it wonderful. It's flavorful, all the fats giving your food, right? So the fats in the food is what he says gives the flavor to foods. Butter, creams, cheeses, feels like you're cheating daily, he mentioned. So, with the keto diet, he don't have them counting calories. He gets them to enjoy their food, and they do find it very flavorful. And he suggests grass-fed butter and coffee every morning and MCT oils. And there will be another video on MCT oils where the latest research does recommend pure C8, not the C8-C10 combination. So we'll get into that and the reasoning for that as well. All right, so they are doing better than ever. His patients, after they're finished with the keto diet, are running marathons. You can, right, so he believes you can convert your body to be more efficient. And for those who are deep into the keto way of eating, we know how wonderful our bodies start to change in terms of energy, metabolism, endurance. And yes, okay, so you use 20% less oxygen for the same amount of work on a ketogenic diet. Oh, so on a keto diet, you're using 20%, your body requires 20% less oxygen, right? So they have better times at the races. So athletes have better times in races for the same amount of energy output. That's pretty awesome. Roadblocks. Okay. He mentioned roadblocks, his personal take on the keto diet. A lack of variety. People think that this, right? They think this, but there are wonderful chefs doing up wonderful dishes these days when it comes to the keto way of eating. There are ketogenic breads. There's almond meal, coconut meal, tons of butter that you can put on them. Keto pancakes. So, and then there is a lot of people's favorite is the chocolate almond butter fat bombs. And on our group site, which is Ketone Renewal 101 Weight Loss Challenge, we do have an awesome recipe for the chocolate almond butter fat bomb. With macadamia, you can put macadamia nuts in it, almonds, peanuts. And yeah, so one of his favorite dishes, he just loves the Brussels sprouts cooked in the grass-fed butter and some salt. Remember, it's the Himalayan pink salt, not that boxed white table salt. that we sometimes buy. All right, so with his patients, he deals with seriously ill patients, right? These are patients that have been recommended to him where other doctors just don't know what to do, or they're afraid to do the surgeries because where they are so chronic and extreme in the brain tumors. So he immediately gets them on the keto diet. He also gives them a keto meter, which is awesome. And he gets them enrolled in his program in terms of meal plans that are keto diet related. And he sees a decrease by this keto diet, a decrease in brain swelling. He finds it's anti-inflammatory, and he doesn't have to use steroids to get the inflammation down, which is incredible. He gives them an improved quality of life with the keto diet. Their cognition and memory function has increased, and they need to have the best neurological function from what they've been through. Okay, so tumors. He mentions that tumors, and this is very important to keep up here, tumors are metabolic diseases. IDH1 mutation in the metabolic pathway. Keto shifts the brain's metabolism. So pretty interesting stuff. I'm soon finished. Give me another 30-40 seconds of your time. Tumors die off with the absence of glucose. Isn't that incredible to know? There is diabetes medication that helps decrease the glucose and sugar and availability for the cancer cells. This diabetes medication is non-toxic. Metformin drug, doxycyclics, antibiotic also helps in this. And forgive me in my pronunciation. Treating it all at the source is what he does, killing the cancer cells instead of all of them. And that's what he believes the keto diet is able to do. Patients really like being on the diet, especially when faced with their mortality. You know, many of them give up hope. He gives them hope, which is amazing. They feel more in control of beating the tumor by following a daily keto way of eating. So he's putting the control back into their lives, into their hands. And that is so important when you feel like the doctors have taken full control and your diagnosis has taken full control of your life. So he gives them a real hope in beating brain cancer. So my next video will be on the misguided way that we have learned to eat since the 1950s and upwards. So again, this would have been a lot of typing. Do forgive my blunders in reading this to you, but I wanted to get it out to you. And for many of us, I think we'd rather listen than have to read pages and pages. Agree? All right, so just leave me a comment in, below this video and let me know if you learned something new. I'm new to taking videos, so be gentle with me. All right, so this is Bernadette Waugh signing out from Ketone Renewal 101 Weight Loss Challenge Group. Look us up on Facebook. Okay, God bless everyone.